Hey dudes and dudettes, just a quick PSA before we start the 2-year celebration. In honor of this event, we're offering up a cool t-shirt and poster for sale. If you get the bundle, we'll sign the poster for you. So go ahead and give this annotation a click, or click the link in the description box below. Now, on to the epic conclusion of Season 2. Wait, aren't I trapped inside the video game? That's a big plot hole. Previously on The Completionist.
For 2 years straight, Gerard Dragon Rider Khalil has completed games alongside his best friend Greg, while receiving help from their friend Alex and various other colorful characters. Gerard, being dubbed as the Beardman, but more importantly as the Completionist, has taken on easy games and incredibly difficult games. Is that really a game? A few weeks ago, Gerard nearly died after being absorbed into his evil-possessed Xbox 360. The agreement was if Gerard completed Dark Souls, he would be set free. He did so, but the 360 tricked him and refused to let him go. Greg, on the other hand, just decided to destroy it with a sword, releasing Gerard from his prison. But sometimes things die hard, and the 360 has absorbed Greg this time into one of Microsoft's evil clutches. Can Gerard free Greg? Or will Greg be stuck inside Conker's Bad Fur Day forever?
Yes!
Conker's Bad Fur Day. Really, really bad fur day.
Listen to me. I don't know who you are, how you got here, where you came from, or really why you're literally in my room being all evil and possessed. But know this, if you don't give Greg back, I will Shrek you up!
Silly Gerard, you know there's always a second boss fight and always a final form. Welcome to my second form, the Red Ring of Death.
See, this is why I did not buy a 360 on the day of launch!
I wasn't the one wearing wings in the last episode.
Oh, you two now, huh? The whole wings thing? I don't have the wings anymore! You know what? It's fine.
I assimilated the company Rareware many years ago, a company you're very familiar with. Yet, there's one game I know you haven't played that will test all of your abilities, and that's Conker's Bad Fur Day. If you complete the original game, you get your friend back. If you fail, I get to keep him for forever.
Well, I really don't have an option here, so let's rumble. Let's go. You wireless bastard.
Conker's Bad Fur Day. I've heard from hundreds of people that this game is amazing. The humor, the graphics, the gameplay. But when I was younger, there was a specific reason as to why I couldn't get my hands on this game. Because it was rated M for mature. Why the rating? Why so bad to this day? Let's find out. I know you're in this game somewhere, Greg. I'm gonna find you and get you out of here, buddy. Conker's Bad Fur Day is not for children. The humor is incredibly vulgar and uncensored. There's tons of violence with nasty sound effects, but we'll get to that in just a bit. Conker's Bad Fur Day is about a red squirrel named Conker who loves drinking, partying, and hot ladies. Some of you may recognize Conker from an earlier review I did on Diddy Kong Racing. It's the same squirrel. One evening, after getting way too intoxicated, he calls his girlfriend Barry and says he's coming home to see her. The problem is, he's too drunk and he wanders off in a different direction to where his house is, and he ends up in a very bizarre kingdom controlled by Panther King, who reminds me of Claw from Inspector Gadget. Panther King was drinking a glass of milk when all of a sudden his table falls over. Turns out he's missing a leg. So, Panther King summons his scientist quadriplegic weasel servant Professor Von Cripplesack. I'm pretty sure it's Cripplesack, to figure out a solution. They deduce that by hunting down a red squirrel, they can go ahead and fix the table, because Conker is the height of the leg. Wait, that's seriously the plot? What the hell? Interesting how we have no direct conflict between our hero and villain. Simply put, it's just another day in the life of Conker. But while all this happens, Barry is kidnapped. And what's funny about this is that Conker never finds out she's been kidnapped. While on his quest, Conker encounters some interesting characters, like Birdie the Scarecrow, the big... Okay, I can't believe I'm going to say this, so I'm just gonna flat out go with it. The big-tittied sunflower. That's right. There is a mission in which you have to collect bees that tickle her, so the flower will blossom with her big, massive breasts. And the king bee can pollinate her. And audibly, they don't beat around the bush. One of my favorite characters who you meet right away in this game is the Grim Reaper named Greg. Wait, Grim Reaper named Greg?
Greg!
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
So glad you're okay. I found you. This is where you are.
I'm just part of the game now. I'm Greg. Greg the Grim Reaper.
Greg the Grim Reaper.
Trying to bring style to this thing, you know.
It's kind of a nice place. It's kind of... It's a little Tronny. Yeah, a little Tronny. Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Seriously? I came to get you out.
Wait a second, where are your wings? You're not wearing your wings. You're gonna come to my Tron land and not wear your wings? What a chump. Save me.
Conker underwent many changes since its inception. Initially, it was supposed to debut before Banjo-Kazooie, and at the time, the game design underwent tons of changes. Conker was supposed to be a family-friendly game, but the writer and voice actor for Conker, Chris Seaver, wanted to change it entirely. He felt that there were too many feel-good fuzzy animal type games. Influenced heavily by the toilet humor of South Park, Conker's Bad Fur Day ended up becoming a filthy, vulgar, inappropriate punch to the face. The writing is hilarious and brilliant. There's even a few references from Banjo-Kazooie as well, with Banjo's head mounted in the tavern. Bears! A lot of Conker's writing and level designs are literally references to classic films. Films like A Clockwork Orange, Saving Private Ryan, Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, Jaws, Terminator, Terminator 2, and The Wizard of Oz, to name a few. These references aren't just one-offs either. They play a pivotal role in how you play levels and even how the plot progresses. My favorite part of the game, and the part that everyone knows and loves as well.
Oh no, here it comes!
Oh, you know it, Greg. It's time to watch the most iconic musical number in gaming.
The great mighty Pooh, and I'm going to throw my shit at you. A huge supply of tish comes from my chocolate starfish. How about some scat, you little twat?
This is brilliant. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I genuinely laughed at something this hard. For how bizarre and messed up the world that Conker is in, it's all very fun and lighthearted. This is where I don't see quite eye to eye with this game. The gameplay has a lot of things that need a little bit of tweaking. I guess one can call me spoiled because of the Banjo-Kazooie games. They handle quite nicely. You get fun power-ups that help your character grow. It's kind of floaty. Conker, on the other hand, requires a lot more precision, which honestly isn't bad, but as gameplay evolves, the controls do too, and in ways that might frustrate you. Conker's world requires him to use special abilities when needed, and those abilities are controlled through using something called context-sensitive pads. These pads, by pressing the B button, will allow Conker to do something helpful, something fun, something deadly, or something just flat out crazy. Whatever is needed. He kind of reminds me of Roger Rabbit. Greg the Grim Reaper.
That's me! I'm the Grim Reaper! Get me out of here.
Is a real fun character in terms of how he's incorporated into the game. Your lives are squirrel tails, and when you die, you are then handpicked out of the underworld by Greg and put back to work. When you get game over, you then receive a really funny cutscene showing what happened to Conker, and the cutscene actually changes depending on your death. Tons of people need help in Conker's world. They either genuinely need help or selfishly want to murder other characters for their own benefits. But Conker does not work for free, he literally works for cash, which is weird because there's only 2 moments where Conker needs to spend cash, and it's required you find all the cash in the game to move forward. When traveling to a new zone, there are areas that require the gameplay style to change quite drastically. There were several moments for me where the controls or the camera angle worked against me. For example, there's a war zone section where you must use weapons to take down the teddy bear Nazis. You're armed with 2 machine guns. Sounds pretty dope, right? Well, it's kind of hard to get used to, as you need to press several buttons at the same time in order to transform Conker from a platformer to a first-person shooter. Easily the hardest part in the game.
Teddy Nazis.
Yup.
Ted Danson.
Nope.
Teddy Biazzi.
As much as I love Conker's Bad Fur Day, one thing that just kind of drives me crazy is the AI, especially during escort missions. There's a mission or two where you have to have little dino follow you or rodent follow you to get you anywhere you need to go, and it just doesn't want to work for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe the game hates me, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but I hate it. The boss fights really make this game something unique and different. As nonsensical as each boss fight is, they tie into everything really nicely. I really like these fights a lot. They're flat out fun and really engaging. However, the camera angles and the last minute new gameplay mechanics will cause some frustration. There's a variety in multiplayer modes which are amazing to play with friends. A lot of them are snippets from the game, but that doesn't keep them from being fun. Dare I say, this rivals GoldenEye's multiplayer.
Sacrilegious!
One thing that needs to be said about Conker's Bad Fur Day is that it's difficult. What's awesome is that the game gradually gets harder. Its flaws are there, and you know what? I accept them, love them, and appreciate them. My frustration mainly stems from never having played this game before. Once I got the hang of it, I had tons of fun with it. But the most prominent and important feature about Conker is this. It's a game designed for adults, so it gets harder for adults. And yes, many kids out there did play this game, even if they didn't know what was going on. Some of this stuff definitely was not appropriate to kids. It's time to enter the last area, which happens to be a parody of The Matrix. Conker and Barry must pull off a heist to pay off Conker's screw-up on the last job for Don Weasel. Arguably one of the most fun parts of the game, Conker and Barry come equipped just like Neo and Trinity to break the Federal Reserve. And bullet time makes the fight scenes great, with cutscenes straight out of the film. Once inside the reserve, Conker collects $1 million, which is not used for anything. And it turns out it was all a ruse anyways, because the Don was working for Panther King, and he finally has Conker right where he wants him. He wants Conker to suffer, so he has the Don brutally murder Barry. And I mean brutally murder her. It's actually quite fascinating as Conker suddenly becomes a real character, almost a human being experiencing loss in a world where greed, lust, and insanity rule. And then all of a sudden,
Chestburster from Aliens? It's a freaking xenomorph! Kill it with fire!
it turns out that the scientist was actually tricking Panther King into drinking the milk, which would then turn him into an alien from the movie Aliens. It makes sense either way. As they stand there, the vault suddenly becomes a spaceship, and the stage is set. Our final fight lies with the xenomorph. This fight is easy but frustrating for newcomers. You pull a Mario 64 and toss the xenomorph out into space. The control stick is kind of difficult to control, but don't worry, Snitches got our back.
Glitches with Old Man Snitches.
In order to perform the throwing glitch, all you need to do is hold either right C or left C and the direction of said button. Once the xenomorph is lifted off the ground, let him go towards the door. But be forewarned, you will get very sick because the camera moves very, very, very fast. Oh, I don't feel so good. Where's the cod liver oil? Milk of magnesia? Oh.
The The Xenomorph is defeated. As it charges for Conker for one last blow, the game freezes, and Conker breaks the fourth wall, talking directly to the game developers at Rareware. In order for the developer to not go out of business, Conker promises to murder the alien if they transport him somewhere else and give him a weapon of his choice. He picks a katana, a Pulp Fiction reference, and slays the Xenomorph in the throne room. This, in my opinion, is the most memorable part of the game. Conker's friends that he's helped over the course of the game come into the Panther King's room to inform Conker that he is now the new king of the land. But here lies the problem. Conker hates everyone. The only person he ever loved was Barry, and he can't have her back. For once, our video game protagonist walks away with an unfulfilled, depressing ending.
Oddly enough, sometimes it feels good to not get what you want.
And look at this little attention to detail. When the game started and Conker drunkenly left the tavern, he peeled straight ahead and then went to the left, which took him to Panther King's kingdom. At the end of the credits, there's a bonus scene where Conker drinks his sorrows away as the new king at that same tavern. And this time, he walks the other way, symbolizing the full circle plot that is Conker's Bad Fur Day. This game is not as easy for a blind newcomer. It will take you quite a while, and in my opinion, the controls are very rough at first. It's not as smooth as past Rareware games, but it's just as amazing.
You know, you never talked about the Xbox remake they created.
Oh right, yes, they did do a completely upgraded 3D remake of this game on the original Xbox called Conker Live and Reloaded. Generally speaking, the game has been improved dramatically from gameplay, graphic, and overall presentation perspectives. However, there's a massive component that makes this game inferior to its original. They censored it a lot. A lot of the love that Conker fans have for this game is because the game is so raw and rare.
Raw. Oh wait, rare!
And I kind of have to agree with everyone. If you get a chance, I'd suggest playing it on the original N64 before you jump ship onto the Xbox version.
Did you say the original was superior to my version?
Conker's Bad Fur Day is a fascinating experience of how a video game can take film elements and make them more raw and real. It's really rare that a game does this, especially when a game is aged.
Rare.
The game does something that no game has done in a long time for me, and it's really made me want a sequel out of a game that'll never get a sequel. It's so real. I felt something. It's just so...
What are you going on about? You're getting weird over there.
I don't know.
That is not what I asked.
Then what did you ask?
Did you say the original was superior to my version?
Well, I mean, maybe, yes, but it's like, the Xbox version is like the baby brother. It's like the
Little baby brother.
Little tiny.
You want a little spoon in your mouth? Because that's what you get with the Xbox version.
Toy. Like a little baby toy.
Little baby toy. You're a baby.
Regardless of your stupidity, the agreement is being upheld.
With that in mind, guys, this game gets our completionist rating of completed. And the reason why is there's not really a thing to complete, but it's worth just fulfilling from start to end to get that real, gritty ending.
If I experience sadness, I'm sure it would be a lot like this. Greg is free.
Boom, baby! Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Done.
sorry Xbox, but you got bested again.
You've simply forgotten, my dear completionist, how boss fights work. You defeated me, sure, but now it's time for you to stay with me.
What? The hell is she?
Gerard! Why?
Beard mode engage!
Oh my god.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you?
I think so.
Where's the...
Beard mode.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Let's get out of here, huh?
Red Ring of Death sequence activated.
Let's get out of here. Let's go through the grid. Let's just go right now.
Wait. I can't go. I gotta stay.
What? You haven't even done Donkey Kong Country 2. You haven't done Final Fantasy 6. You're not done yet. This isn't the end. Come on.
One of us has to stay and make sure this thing doesn't get out and kill thousands of people. If not, take their money for no reason. You saved me once before. Now it's my turn to save you.
Oh, okay.
I was expecting something a little more, friendship-wise, but, whatever.
Red Ring of Death sequence activated.
Alright, Xbox. It's just you and me now. Xbox! Turn off!
Gerard! Gerard! Gerard? Two years. 75 games. The legendary Completionist? He finally completed it.
He never got to finish the All-Stars pack.
Here's to you, Gerard. I love you, man.
You know Tron, the movie Tron? I loved that movie. Where we just were? That's not Tron. Whoever designed that sucked.
How did you get out?
I heard that you love me. You love me, don't you?
I didn't say that.
I heard that.
Shut up! Shut up! No, I
Making
didn't.
fun of me?
No.
For the past 75 videos?
I barely even missed you.
Right here. Right there in the heart. Right there in the heart, right there. Well, you know what? I'm back. It's the most important thing, and I'm nowhere near done, Greg. We have a quest to go on. Get ready. It's gonna be a really big one. We're going after Dracula.
Yes!